Electrical hazards pose a significant risk in mining operations, potentially leading to severe injuries or fatalities. Awareness of these hazards and adherence to safety protocols are crucial for miner safety. Several types of electrical hazards can arise in mining environments. Firstly, contact with energized wires or equipment, being the most prevalent electrical hazard in mining, can occur when miners inadvertently touch live wires or equipment, use improperly insulated tools, or work too closely to energized machinery. Secondly, electrical shocks occur when an individual comes into contact with an electrical current. The severity of an electrical shock can vary widely, ranging from minor discomfort to fatal consequences. The extent of the shock depends on several factors, including the amount of current passing through the body, the pathway of the current, and the duration of contact. Thirdly, electrical burns can result from contact with a hot electrical conductor. These burns can be severe and necessitate extensive medical attention. Fourthly, electrical fires can ignite due to various causes, such as defective wiring, overloaded circuits, or lightning strikes. Electrical fires can rapidly spread, causing substantial damage. Preventing electrical hazards requires a multifaceted approach. 1. Using proper insulation is paramount. All electrical wires and equipment should be adequately insulated to prevent contact with energized conductors. 2. Grounding electrical equipment is crucial. Proper grounding prevents electrical shocks by providing a safe path for current to flow in the event of a fault. 3. Safety switches can be used to automatically cut off electrical power when a fault occurs, minimizing the risk of injury. 4. Comprehensive training on electrical safety is essential for all miners. Miners should be educated about potential electrical hazards and instructed on how to protect themselves. In the event of an electrical emergency, immediate and appropriate action is vital. 1. Call for help immediately. 2. If possible, turn off the power to the affected area. 3. Stay away from downed wires or energized equipment to avoid further injury. 4. If the victim is not breathing, perform cardiopulmonary resuscitation or CPR. To elaborate on insulation, ensure that all electrical conductors are covered with a non-conductive material. Regularly inspect insulation for damage, such as cracks or abrasions, and replace damaged insulation immediately. Use appropriately rated insulation for the voltage levels present in the mining environment. Insulation resistance testers, also known as megometers or megas, can be used to verify the integrity of insulation. When discussing grounding, it's imperative to establish a low resistance path to the earth. This path allows fault current to flow safely back to the source, tripping circuit breakers or fuses and energizing the circuit. Grounding systems should be regularly inspected and tested to ensure their effectiveness. Grounding conductors should be sized appropriately to handle the expected fault current. Utilize ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, in wet or damp locations to provide additional protection against electrical shock. Regarding safety switches, install safety switches, such as emergency stop buttons and lockout-tagout devices, at strategic locations throughout the mining operation. Ensure that safety switches are clearly labeled and easily accessible. Regularly test safety switches to verify their functionality. Train miners on the proper use of safety switches and lockout-tagout procedures. Electrical safety training should cover a wide range of topics, including basic electrical principles, hazard identification, safe work practices, and emergency response procedures. Training should be conducted by qualified instructors and should be tailored to the specific hazards present in the mining environment. Provide refresher training periodically to reinforce key concepts and address any changes in regulations or equipment. Document all training activities, including attendance records and training materials. When responding to electrical emergencies, prioritize safety above all else. Do not approach a downed wire or energized equipment until the power has been confirmed to be shut off. Use insulated tools and equipment when working near electrical hazards. Keep a safe distance from the affected area to avoid becoming a victim yourself. Follow established emergency response procedures and cooperate with emergency personnel. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or CPR, should only be performed by trained individuals. Follow established CPR protocols and continue CPR until emergency medical services arrive. To further minimize electrical hazards, implement a comprehensive electrical safety program that includes regular inspections, preventive maintenance, and hazard assessments. Conduct routine inspections of electrical equipment and wiring to identify potential problems. Perform preventive maintenance on electrical equipment to ensure that it is operating safely and efficiently. Conduct hazard assessments to identify potential electrical hazards and implement appropriate control measures. Develop and implement written electrical safety procedures that address all aspects of electrical work in the mining environment. Ensure that all electrical work is performed by qualified electricians who are trained in accordance with applicable codes and standards, such as the National Electrical Code, or NEC. Use only approved electrical equipment and materials that are suitable for the mining environment. Prohibit the use of extension cords as a substitute for permanent wiring. Keep electrical panels and equipment enclosures clear of obstructions. Ensure adequate ventilation around electrical equipment to prevent overheating. Control access to electrical equipment and restrict access to authorized personnel only. Post warning signs and labels to alert miners to potential electrical hazards. Encourage miners to report any electrical hazards or unsafe conditions to their supervisors. Investigate all electrical incidents and near misses to identify root causes and implement corrective actions. Share lessons learned from electrical incidents with all miners to prevent similar incidents from occurring in the future. By diligently implementing these preventive measures and response protocols, mining operations can significantly reduce the risk of electrical hazards and protect the safety and well-being of their workforce. Moreover, consider implementing arc flash studies to determine the potential arc flash hazard levels in the mining environment. Arc flash studies can help identify areas where additional protective measures, such as arc-rated clothing and equipment, are needed. Provide miners with appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, including arc-rated clothing, gloves, and face shields. Enforce the use of PPE whenever miners are working near electrical hazards. Implement a lockout-tagout program to ensure that electrical equipment is de-energized and properly locked out before any maintenance or repair work is performed. Train miners on the proper lockout-tagout procedures and ensure that they are followed consistently. Utilize voltage detectors to verify that electrical equipment is de-energized before work begins. Establish a system for tracking and managing electrical equipment and tools. This system should include regular inspections, maintenance, and calibration of equipment. Use only intrinsically safe electrical equipment in areas where flammable gases or dust may be present. Intrinsically safe equipment is designed to prevent ignition of flammable materials. Provide adequate lighting in work areas to improve visibility and reduce the risk of accidents. Encourage miners to take breaks and avoid fatigue, which can impair judgment and increase the risk of errors. Implement a system for reporting and tracking electrical incidents and near misses. This system should include a thorough investigation of each incident to identify root causes and implement corrective actions. Share lessons learned from electrical incidents with all miners to prevent similar incidents from occurring in the future. Regularly review and update the electrical safety program to ensure that it is effective and reflects current best practices. Seek input from miners and other stakeholders when developing and updating the electrical safety program. Consult with electrical safety experts to ensure that the electrical safety program meets all applicable codes and standards. Participate in industry-wide electrical safety initiatives to share best practices and learn from others. By continuously improving the electrical safety program, mining operations can create a safer and more productive work environment for all. When performing electrical work, always use properly insulated tools and equipment. Never use tools or equipment that are damaged or defective. Inspect tools and equipment before each use to ensure that they are in good working condition. Keep tools and equipment clean and dry. Store tools and equipment in a safe place when not in use. When working near energized electrical equipment, maintain a safe distance. The safe distance will vary depending on the voltage of the equipment. Consult with a qualified electrician or refer to applicable safety standards to determine the appropriate safe distance. Never reach into or cross over energized electrical equipment. Use caution when working in wet or damp conditions. Water is a good conductor of electricity, so the risk of electrical shock is increased in wet or damp conditions. Wear rubber boots and gloves when working in wet or damp conditions. Use ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, to protect against electrical shock in wet or damp conditions. Never work alone when performing electrical work. Always have someone nearby who can provide assistance in case of an emergency. Establish a clear communication plan so that workers can communicate with each other effectively. Ensure that workers are familiar with emergency procedures and know how to contact emergency services. Keep a first aid kit readily available in case of an injury. When working on electrical equipment, always de-energize the equipment before starting work. Follow lockout-tagout procedures to ensure that the equipment remains de-energized during the work. Verify that the equipment is de-energized using a voltage detector before starting work. Never assume that equipment is de-energized. Always test it to be sure. When re-energizing electrical equipment, follow a systematic procedure to ensure that it is done safely. Inspect the equipment to ensure that it is in good working condition. Verify that all tools and materials have been removed from the equipment. Notify workers in the area that the equipment is about to be re-energized. Energize the equipment slowly and carefully. Monitor the equipment for any signs of problems. If any problems are detected, de-energize the equipment immediately and investigate the cause. Regularly inspect electrical cords and cables for damage. Replace damaged cords and cables immediately. Do not use extension cords as a substitute for permanent wiring. If an extension cord is necessary, use a heavy-duty cord that is properly rated for the intended use. Do not overload extension cords. Run extension cords in a safe manner to prevent tripping hazards. Do not run extension cords through doorways or windows. Do not run extension cords under carpets or rugs. Keep electrical cords and cables away from heat, water, and chemicals. Do not repair electrical cords or cables yourself. Have them repaired by a qualified electrician. Be aware of the potential for static electricity to cause explosions in areas where flammable gases or dusts are present. Take steps to prevent static electricity from building up. Ground all equipment that is used in these areas. Wear static dissipative clothing and footwear. Use static control mats in areas where static electricity is a concern. Control the humidity in these areas to reduce the build-up of static electricity. Follow all applicable safety regulations and standards when working with electricity. Consult with a qualified electrician or safety professional if you have any questions about electrical safety.